world. Welcome to Monday Media Review here on Two Guys on the Couch. I am George.
And I'm Joe. We're here to wade through the bullshit, give you our opinions on upcoming movies and games. This weekend, we went to see Ridley Scott's epic Robin of the Hood.
Yes, starring Cate Blanchett, Russell Crowe,
Oscar Isaac, Mark Strong as the two bad guys, Prince John and Godfrey. The plot of this movie, it's a origin story to how Robin became Robin Hood.
And that is a crucial factor people need to remember, which a lot of critics seem to forget. It's an origin story, not the Robin Hood story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they probably shouldn't have called it Robin Hood. Because he's not Robin Hood till the end of the movie.
I can imagine maybe Nottingham, because it took place within Nottingham. But a lot of critics were complaining about the whole fact that
it's not him going around stealing stuff, and for some reason they think he cracks jokes all the time, and he wasn't jolly enough for them.
This is a sham!
I mean, this isn't Robin Hood Men in Tights or Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. Ridley Scott does not make comedic movies. He makes serious toned movies. Look at Gladiator.
But when Robin Hood is with his merry men, when he's with Little John and the rest of them, he's joking around. I mean, they're having a good time when they're partying and, picking up women.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not
Robin Hood is serious when he needs to be serious, and he's jokes with his friends, just like anybody else.
When it's fitting, like in the opening of the movie, they put him in old medieval wooden things where they fucking put your head in. He's making jokes with his merry men while he's in there. I mean, there's a little levity to the character. He's not serious the whole time.
And there was parts of the movies I laughed. It's like because it was a funny scene, or because something was said that was comedic. But it's a serious movie.
I mean, the strengths of this movie, the reason to see this movie, the action scenes are off the charts. It opens with like a half-hour action scene where you got the former king, he's raiding this castle. Robin Hood and his merry men are part of his group, and they're, raiding this castle. Robin Hood's, picking people off the top of the castle with his bow. You got Little John, he's manning the battering ram. They're setting up this to burn down the main door with these explosive tar bombs that burn the thing all night. And just epic battle, and it concludes with an epic battle.
And there are, throughout the first beginning and ending battles, there are like little battles in between. And people are like saying that it's a boring movie. I was not bored at all. It's like there are small parts where the movie tend to drag, but besides that, the action is worth seeing. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, one thing Ridley Scott does amazingly is action. I mean, Gladiator is awesome, Black Hawk Down is awesome. He knows how to do some action.
Yes.
And there's no exception with this. I mean, the action is the strongest part of the movie. Well, the weakest part of the movie is probably the length. I mean, it's not that long. It's like 2 hours, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, but it's like I said before, sometimes it feels like it drags a little. Not a whole lot, but they could have easily cut off maybe 10 more minutes.
Yeah, one of the problems, I think, it jumps around to too many characters. I mean, you got the power struggle between Prince John, between him and his mother. Then you got the side story with Godfrey and, switching sides. You have Marion's side story where she's having problems with the young rebels stealing stuff from the village. But overall, her scenes aren't too bad, especially once she hooks up with Robin Hood. And then they have a pretty good relationship that goes on. You get to, learn to know each other.
Yes, I mean, it was. I mean, I didn't think there was too many characters, but I do think it jumped around too much.
If it would have stuck with Robin Hood a little more, if it focused a little more on him and not so much on the secondary or tertiary characters, I think it would have worked a little better. And also, you could have trimmed a good 20 minutes. But Ridley Scott makes long movies.
Yeah. I got no problem with that, because usually if it's a Ridley Scott film, it's going to be really good.
Good. Surprisingly good.
The critics, they're talking, like, everything I've heard about this movie is People talking bad about it, like Spilg.com. I like those guys. I love their stuff. It's very entertaining, but they gave it a some old bullshit, which is their score.
No need for it.
Which is less than... It's not even worth renting, according to them. Which I think it's a minimum matinee, but if I would have paid full price to see it, we saw it as a matinee, but if we would have saw it full price, I wouldn't have been disappointed, just because the action scenes are amazing.
It was a really enjoyable film. Be it was no Gladiator, but it was still up there with it.
Mm-hmm. Another thing the critics are saying, there's a scene where the French...
Is it at the end when the French invade Europe?
The French are invading England.
England, yeah. And a lot of critics are comparing this to Ridley Scott ripping off
Saving Private
Ryan, the Normandy scene. It's like, what?
I want to know how they expected the French to get from France to England. Magic carpets, blimps, teleport in. They're going to ride camels across the ocean.
They're going to borrow Harry Potter's brooms.
Like, you invade on a boat. That's how you fucking, you go to the beach.
I mean, last time I checked...
unload your troops.
Last time I checked, the United Kingdom was a fucking island.
Yeah. I don't know how they expected them to get there, so obviously they're going to invade by boat. And obviously they're going to try to stop them on the beach when it's the easiest to do. So that is going to look a lot like Normandy. You know why? Because in Normandy, they use battle techniques that were proven throughout history.
Yes, it's a stupid argument. That's like saying that the whole opening sequence where King Richard is trying to take out a French castle is the exact same as when King Arthur in Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail was trying to take over a French castle.
And not only is it as ridiculous to compare the two, somebody compared the two.
Yeah, it's retarded. Stop comparing things.
Don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal food trough whopper. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Now, this is not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but as far as the score goes, out of 5 arrows through the neck, I'm going to go with 3.5, just because it dragged a little bit for me. But I did like all the acting in it. I thought it had some very solid acting. I liked all the action in it. But it dragged a little. But 3.5, I still think is a good score.
I'm going to go a little higher with 4 arrows to the necks, because I loved this movie. I did. Like you said, it's not perfect. It does drag. But I'm a huge fan of Russell Crowe. I love Ridley Scott and his movies. And also the movie I thought was done so well, and it caught the period so well. You know, and it really explained a lot about why Robin became Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. You know, and I thought that they filled in the history very nicely.
At last.
Yes.